So I somehow forgot this was a thing and didn't talk about it. Hey there, guys. This is Flamsaron, aka YouTube's Tosuke, and I just kind of wanted to give a very late, you know, preview or thoughts or whatever of this little game that got announced like half a year ago. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. For those of you who don't know, which I imagine may be like one person, because I feel like at this point, if you're interested in this game, you've been following it by now, and these games are pretty dang popular and they're really good too. So, but this is basically all 9 Star Wars movies put into one game, Legoified, much like Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars 2 before it, as well as Lego Star Wars 3, which was based on Clone Wars. Then that one I never got, but I got 1 and 2 on PS2, and then I got the complete saga on PS3. And there was actually the Force Awakens one for like PS4 and whatnot, and that's kind of where they stopped. I know a lot of people don't really like the sequel trilogies. Quite frankly, I liked them. I thought they were good movies, and I enjoyed the story and stuff. But yeah, we never got any Lego, Rise of Skywalker or Lego The Last Jedi until now, where they're just putting it all in one big game. It's going to be coming out for everything plus next gen, so that includes PS5 and Xbox Series X/S. I think they're just calling it Xbox Series now. And it was going to come out, I think, around this time of when this video is being uploaded and recorded and stuff, but it's been delayed to spring 2021, which is fine. Probably due to the pandemic and also the fact that, PS5 and whatnot's around the corner. But this one's going to be retelling all 9 movies like they did before with 1 through 7. I had to kind of catch myself there, like, well, they didn't actually do all 9 movies before because not all 9 movies existed until since the Rise of Skywalker came out. Anyway, but this game is going to be taking what Traveler's Tale. I always get them confused with Telltale games. I actually thought they were going out of business. So like when this news hit, I was like, oh, that's really cool that before they close out, they're going to do what everyone probably wanted them to do and do a Lego Star Wars game. I'm like, oh, wait, they're separate. They're separate companies. But yeah, they're going to be kind of taking because the first games were pretty charming, but as far as like presentation, there wasn't too much to it. The newer games would have voiceover and would have like little cartoony cutscenes, and they used like really updated versions of the Lego sets in particular. Like I know when I went in the trailer, they show a scene of like Darth Maul kind of waving or something, and he's got like his new headpiece that they have. Because for those who don't know, back when the Star Wars sets were coming out, and we had Darth Maul, and this was true, I think, also when I think he actually probably truthfully got updated in The Force Awakens, which because he was DLC 4, which makes me kind of want to get that game because I never actually got it. I kind of want to finish the collection in air quotes because I'm not going out of my way to get every single one, but anyway, the old Lego sets, like, and I think even in Lego Star Wars 1, and by proxy, Complete Saga, he didn't really have like a fancy piece for his uncloaked head. Like, I think all he really had was just his, just like the parts of his horns, like colored onto the headpiece. But there wasn't like any actual like fancy head to show like the horns coming out. Whereas now they do. And I think they've given Luke Skywalker a unique headpiece. They've kind of played around with sort of like the looks of the characters a little bit, giving them more unique headpieces, or hair pieces rather, and stuff like that. But yeah, it looks good. It looks like they're putting a lot of effort into it, and gameplay, it seems like they're going to be kind of doing a lot with it too. Like characters that that have the guns, they're going to kind of play with that. Make it more almost like a third-person shooter. Yeah, like it almost kind of seems like the different characters are going to almost have like almost be in like different genres in a way. I'm kind of overselling it a little bit, but you know what I mean. um, as far as the full details of the game, all we really know at the moment is that it's gonna have that same charm that the modern Lego games have had lately. Like, and when I say I'm talking mainly the Lego Marvel games, because that's like the only other game that Lego Marvel Superheroes specifically is the one that I had, where they had like that big open world area, and there's like they actually have real voice acting in it, and they have nice cutscenes and whatnot to kind of go along with sort of like the kid-friendly aspect of the game and whatnot, as well as with updated controls and updated mechanics and whatnot. So this is almost kind of like a giant remake in a way, at least for episodes 1 through 6, and I guess technically 7 as well. But other than that, we don't really know like what the main hub's going to be like. I still kind of like the hub from the first game, where it was like that little area, and then like you would go inside. I like the Mos Eisley thing as well, because of how open it was. But I did like kind of how simple the first one was, and I also liked the like minifigure customizer that you could do in the second one, which they threw into Complete Saga. So that was actually kind of cool. So who knows if they'll do that here. They'll have a lot more to pull from if they do. And it'll be interesting to kind of see what kind of secrets this game has. Like, what if it turns out that it actually has like a secret fight with the Mandalorian or something, or it has like a secret mission that kind of that's going to tell like a preview of like the next big Star Wars thing, or maybe it'll have a teaser for the Kenobi series in Lego form, because I remember with Lego Star Wars 1, that game, at least for me, was almost like a teaser for episode 3, because I remember the game came out before the movie did, so it was kind of cool getting to see sort of how the movie was going to play out, at least in sort of like a strange way. But I'm excited for it. It looks fun. I'm probably going to get it on PS4 because I more than likely won't have a PS5 anytime soon. One, because the whole pre-order situation has been kind of crazy, and trying to actually get a pre-order has been tough. And also, I kind of want to wait a little bit, mainly at this point, just so that they kind of work out as many kinks as they can. Not that I have seen too many kinks that they need to work out, but one thing I do want them to kind of work on is sort of like the internal storage, because I'm sorry, but 800 gigabytes is not enough. It's recently come to my attention that 2 terabytes isn't enough. So let that sort of sink in a little bit. So I'm trying to kind of plan for that. So when I do get a PS5, I might end up spending like $600 or $700 for mine, because I'm also gonna try and get like whatever solid state drive I can comfortably get that has more than fucking 800 gigs. Like, I might even shoot for like 6 terabytes or 8 terabytes just to kind of come out strong, because like I said, like 2 terabytes isn't really enough. But that's neither here or there. I'm sure I'll figure something out. But yeah, this game looks really fun. It's sort of like something that I know a lot of us have really wanted. I kind of wished, honestly, that they did do The Last Jedi and a Rise of Skywalker Lego game, and then kind of combined everything into this one, along with like whatever remakes they end up doing with 1 through 6. But I understand why they didn't did that, because if you had been following the Lego games for a while, you played literally every single one, the quality of it and just sort of like the kind of style of game it was kind of changed a little bit. Like Lego Star Wars 1, it was a great game, but it was also kind of simple in terms of its presentation. It didn't really, there weren't really too many fancy things going on. They had the jokes and whatnot, but there wasn't like any dialogue, and it was definitely very visual storytelling for sure. But as time went on, they kept kind of improving the formula with each game, making different games, like the Harry Potter games and the Indiana Jones and the Marvel games kind of gave them and DC kind of gave them a chance to sort of play around with what they could do. So certain characters probably are going to play differently than they have before, just because of what they've learned from making these games, and just different things and the presentation and all that. So I'm looking forward to this because of that. I'll definitely be spending a lot of time with my boy Obi-Wan, and probably Darth Maul and Qui-Gon, and I kind of like Jango Fett. He was always pretty cool. I would say those are probably my three fave peeps. Obi-Wan, specifically the prequel trilogy version, really Clone Wars Obi-Wan. I've kind of, even though I haven't seen the entire thing, I've kind of found that Clone Wars is kind of the Star Wars for me, I think, because I really love that era. It's got, the younger Obi-Wan, but he's got the beard. It's a cartoon. I love cartoons, so it's got Darth Maul in it, and I know they recently did the final season on a Disney Plus, which will be kind of cool. I might maybe try and watch the entire thing when I get the chance. We'll have to kind of see, but yeah, I feel like in terms of what I want in a Star Wars story, Clone Wars kind of does it. And I know there's also Rebels as well, which sort of kind of, how do I say this? It's sort of like, I guess sort of like an epilogue, I suppose, because I know it takes place after the original trilogy, so like sort of, I really like the Jedi, and obviously the original trilogy kind of takes place after sort of the fall of the Jedi, towards sort of like a dying group that comes back with Luke Skywalker. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and it actually would be kind of cool if they maybe touch a little bit on sort of like a what if they did Clone Wars but Legoified again, but also unclone Wars. Like, I don't really know how that would work. It would be kind of cool though to sort of see some of the stuff, because they did do that Commander Obi-Wan figure where he's in sort of like his Clone Wars look, but they sort of like did like an actual action figure of it as if it was like an actual movie. Which, that's probably my favorite look for Obi-Wan. I think he looks really cool. I have him displayed next to my Qui-Gon Jinn figure on one of my shelves in my room. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. It was something I've been wanting for a while. I might maybe try and pick up the Force Awakens Lego to kind of ease me into the mood. Mainly because I want to get all that DLC. Of course, I need to kind of be mindful. I'm trying to kind of plan my acquisitions and playing habits on my PS4 since I'm running out of space. I am planning on switching out to a 4 terabyte solid state drive, mainly because getting a hard drive with that size is apparently physically too big. But the solid state drive is actually like small enough, but it's hella expensive. So it looks nicer and it runs faster, but it's flippin' expensive. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. This is going to be fun. Hopefully it won't get delayed again. And it'll be kind of cool to see, because I don't know how often I'll play it, because there are other games I'm trying to work on, like River City Girls and TMNT Mutants in Manhattan, which I got recently, and Streets of Rage 4 and a few other things. But it'll be kind of cool to see the kind of, if there are any secrets that people find. That's also one thing I'm kind of interested in now that I think about it, sort of like the secrets, if they do any cool stuff. But this video is already too long for a majorly overdue video. Sorry about that. The real reason is just I kind of forgot. I've been talking about it on my podcast too, which is the funny thing, and I don't really talk about every little detail that came from it. Like, I did like the launch trailer, which is where I got the screen cap from. Or not the announcement trailer, sorry. I think this was announced at like E3 or something from last year. But then also like the screenshots and whatnot, because that's mainly what I want to see. Like, well, I want to see like what exactly are y'all doing with the gameplay? Because you made it sound like you were doing a little bit more than just updating the old ones from the previous games. But yeah, looking pretty cool, and it'll be sort of a nice way to kind of come back to the Star Wars games. I didn't play Jedi Fallen Order. Probably should, But it would be kind of cool if we got sort of like the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot equivalent of Star Wars, or maybe like some weird like Super Star Wars remake, where it's like the original trilogy, but sort of like if the Super Star Wars games were made in today's game climate, how they would be made. But we will see. Who knows? I know, there's also other stuff. I think there's a Rogue Squadron, I think, is coming out, or some sort of squadron like shooting game. I think either is coming out or just came out. So, but I like me my lightsabers. But yeah, looking pretty fun. This is Flamesron, aka YouTube Sasuke, signing out. See you later.